Y'all doing out there? What's happening? Good evening. The video gonna be about old tap dancing Chris Rock, and he couldn't shut up long enough. Um, I was one of them people. I don't care. Will Smith gave him the two-piece special he deserved. I'm not for no black on black violence, but I can't stand Chris Rock. He's a sellout, tap dancing, shuffling. You know, this turkey's on the plantation, and he's still trying to tell old tired jokes. This time he got white folk at him now. He said going to they asked him to come back to the Oscar. He said going back to there would be like going to Nicole Brown Simpson's murder scene. He's what I've noticed. It's still fashionable to try to profit off of OJ Simpson. See, OJ was one of them few black entertainers, even more so than Michael Jackson. White folks got comfortable with Juice. Like he crossed over in a way where it was real. And then after the verdict, you hardly ever hear black entertainers show him love. You get some clown like Jay-Z trying to mock him, and anybody with half a brain would know that case had a lot of flaws. Timeline never added up. The man had arthritis. So how much moving was he really doing? Because I watched his lateral movement. He wasn't moving like them Hertz commercials. He wasn't moving like he did with the Buffalo Bills. He was running more like he did with the 49ers his last 2 years. But case in point, it's still fashionable to put OJ Simpson's name in your mouth to try to sell tickets if you think you got some game. But Chris Rock ain't had no game. When you bring up something from a reference that happened nearly 30 years ago, hard to believe, it shows you how out of date you are. But that's what he's done. He's regurgitated familiar themes and says anything. Now, some of that goodwill that he had gotten off of Will Smith, and folks done turned sideways on him because he always puts his foot in his mouth. And he is one jive turkey. And he can't help himself. He been a buffoon for so long, he know no other way. See, a lot of these so-called turkeys out here think they comedians. The joke's on them. They not funny. They perpetrating and fraudulent. And they say stuff. Chris Rock looks just as bad as Ari Spears, though, going after Lizzo. This is just as bad. Jeffrey Tubin got let go finally from CNN. He been riding off of OJ. Y'all need to stop riding off of OJ Simpson. Because they're gonna you're gonna fool around and say stuff when you can't prove what you saying. You know. Unfortunate, but you gotta watch what you say. But see, Chris Rock thought he was uppity, and he thought he going that way plantation known as the Oscars, and I call that a plantation. The Oscars is the most fake, racist piece of trash. They need to take that Oscar and shove it deep in the sea. It's embarrassing that garbage is still showed, because that ain't nothing but a shrine for white privilege. Has no place whatsoever. Has nothing to do with creativity. All it is booty kissing and saluting an Illuminati and saluting something that you ain't never gonna get because they handpick. They tell you that they shut black folks out, but they'll let you sit there and clown. So, anyway, he done messed up his so-called goodwill, but I knew this turkey would do something stupid because he can't help himself. He just dumb like that, and tell no tired jokes. And this ain't funny. Nothing's funny about the OJ Nicole Brown Simpson and their children and the whole situation. Nothing is funny about it. But see, hanging on white folks in Hollywood make you think you can say anything because you think you part of the clique. And that's the thing about why Chris Rock's a sellout. So if you pay close attention, you see who he run with. But when it gets darker skies, they ain't gonna vouch for that turkey. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And Chris Rock and all these other clowns need to keep OJ Simpson's name out their mouth. For one thing, what happened with the verdict the first time is what should have happened. Not guilty. Because there was plenty of reasonable doubt. And if you really study, examine the facts, they are what they were. Regardless of what you think about him or whatever you feel, there was a lot more going on with that case. But this clown is still trying to tell 25, 30-year-old jokes to sell wolf tickets to a bunch of turkeys who are clowning, laughing at his bucktooth behind all the time. I'm out.